Welcome to the Next of YouTube. I'm your host, PC747. In today's show, we're going to talk about YouTube TV raising up their prices, my thoughts on that. The iPhone, it may not come with a charger now, so we need to talk about that. And I definitely want to do a quick review of Attack on Titans 2 for Stadia. So let's get started. And I'm going to get started with YouTube TV. So if you are not aware, if you're someone who's a cord cutter like me, and you have been looking for services to jump on board, one of the services I used to recommend, and I say used to because it was like up there with one of the things I would suggest to help people cut the cord, was to jump on YouTube TV. I was a big fan of YouTube TV when it first came out. At $35 a month, and all the channels that you get, when I say all the channels, but you had your basic channel, your sports, a couple of news channels for those that cared about that, some channels for the kids. You had enough of a variety, but you mainly got your basics. And that's what really a lot of people who was cutting the cord wanted. We wanted the basics. Our basic news channels, a couple of sports here and there. I don't need all ESPNs. Just give me the basic ESPN 1, maybe ESPN 2 here and there. A Fox Sport, if you want to throw it in there, I'm okay with that. I really don't care too much for 24-hour news, but if you want to throw it in there, okay, no big deal to me. Just mainly give me my ESPN and give me my news. And I was good. Everything else, I could get through Netflix or from other services I had. And that's what made YouTube TV appealing. Compared to the other companies out there, it worked. It was simple. And people loved it. It's like someone finally figured it out. They finally figured out how to give us this streaming service that worked. And on top of that, you got basically a cloud HDR. And that come in handy for people who's on the go, like myself. There have been many shows that I would like to sit and watch, but I couldn't because of work and my work schedule. It just didn't line up. So I could set on my YouTube TV to record a show, and then when I get time, I can watch it, whether it be lunch break or while just relaxing here or there at the house before I go to bed or whatever. It provided enough for those that wanted some variety and still provided the ability to give you your shows, and it didn't break the bank. But, and I say but, YouTube, I understood was trying to, not say YouTube, but really it's Google, was trying to find ways to bring more channels to be more competitive out there. So they hiked up the price and threw in more channels. Now, some will argue that they were looking to hike up the price because, they had struck a deal with Verizon. They wanted to kind of get more out of that. And they knew they were going to get more customers on board anyway. So a good way to take advantage of that was to throw in a couple of channels. Like they originally intended on hiking up the price regardless. The other channels just made it where it was appealing. So they hiked up the price to around $49. See, it was like, okay, stay right here. Don't go any higher. I'm okay with this. If you continue to go higher, it's time to cut the cord or cut the YouTube TV. And that's what we have. So starting in a couple of weeks, YouTube TV announced that, and I actually pulled it from their blog, that they will be raising their prices to $65. Now, their argument to why they're raising the prices is because they're going to be bringing a number of other channels, such as BET, CMT, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon, Paramount Network, TV Land, and VHF. Now, when I saw that, my immediate response to YouTube TV, and I actually went on Twitter and said, look, the point of me choosing your service was because I didn't want a bunch of channels shoved down my throat. That's why I cut the cord. There's a lot of channels I didn't watch. And many of the channels you just added, I don't watch them. I wanted something basic, simple. Keep it simple and cheap. And yet you basically became the same cable companies we left by adding all these other channels that most people didn't watch. So I actually posted that on Twitter saying, look, if you're going to go this route, why not offer a tier? For those like me who just want, all I want is basics. I don't want anything else. Let me pay a basic price. For those that want more, they can pay for more. So here was their response to me on that. And this is from the Team YouTube. And it says, we got your point. It's not fully up to us to offer certain channels a la carte as most content providers require that we offer their complete portfolio of their networks. We know having flexibility is important to you, so we'll work on adding more options in the future. And basically, it seems like to me, one of two things is going on. Either the cable companies have basically realized they lost to the streaming service, and they're forcing these companies like YouTube TV and all those other companies to, all right, if you're going to take our customers from the cable where we were making money, we're going to start charging you more. We're going to start forcing you to take these other channels, and as a result, YouTube passing it to the customers. That could be what's going on, or YouTube is looking to hike up the prices and throwing in more channels. So I'm going to take both approaches. Let's start with the first one. Let's say you do have the cable companies who decided to say, we're actually going to step up. We're fighting back. We're going to force you guys to start taking this whole package of channels because legally we're making that happen. We're going to make our money one way or another. Either we're going to get the money from the customers who are coming to us as Comcast or through Charter, Spectrum, or one of those services, and we're going to get our money. So if they're not going to come through us, hey, we're just going to force it down your throats, and we're going to make them make a decision one way or another. Either way, we're going to get paid. So that could be what's going on. And I think we're going to need more information to see if that's the case. Or it could be the latter. It could be that they wanted to add more channels to be like the big boys, and as a result, they're like trying to force everybody to pay this one price. In other words, they made a deal with the cable company. They said, we want to add these extra channels. And the cable company said, this is how much it's going to cost to bring that in there. So to make sure that they can bring those channels to, let's say, a select few customers that wanted it, they basically said, all right, what we can do is, instead of having a $100 cable bill for this one person to have those extra channels, we're going to just raise everybody else's price $30. So, well, it's not so much for one customer. Now, if it is the latter, where, again, you don't want to charge this person $100 because they want these extra channels, so you're making all of us pay for it, I have a problem with that. Because, again, the point of me cutting the cord was because I didn't watch TV like that in the first place. The main reason why I chose YouTube TV is because I don't watch TV like that. Man, I mainly watch TV here and there on the go. It's like, if I come home, I may check out a couple of money channels to see how the stocks and stuff are doing. Maybe check out the news here and there, the local news of where I'm at to see what's going on. And sports. Other than that, I'm not too much into TV. You know, if there are, again, like I said earlier, if there are certain shows I want to catch up on, I'll catch that up on the go. You know, and I think a lot of people now have got to the point where we're not all in a TV like that, and this is where streaming has come in handy. It's not so much just because it was saving money. Now, that was a big part of it. It was a big part of why I cut the cord a long time ago because, again, I wasn't watching all those channels, and it did save me a lot of money. And I feel like now we're at that point where we're just where cable is at. Because if you look at it, if you go to these companies and you pay for high-speed internet, you're looking at around $35, $40. And now that YouTube TV just went to $65, you're back where you started from. We're back where we started from. It's like, why did we ever cut the cord just to do this? So this is where I'm kind of frustrated with YouTube TV because I'm like, you guys figured it out. You had it figured out. And I almost feel like you guys are either being greedy or you're just being oblivious to what your customers are telling you. Like, your customers are telling you, you was good where you was at. Why do you keep adding more and more and more? We don't want those other channels. For those that did want those other channels, they can find it other ways. And besides, a lot of these companies like BT, MTV, and all that stuff, they're coming up with their own services or their own little way where someone that may want that can subscribe to just that. So now we're at this point now, for those like me, like, $65 is too much. I had enough. I'm ready to get out of here. Now it's time to find an alternate. Because YouTube, they're not listening. They're not listening to their customers. They're continuing to hike up the price. And it's like, they're going to keep going to see how far they can go before people just say, I'm done and break. And if you're someone who's tired of that, the way you need to voice that is by saying, okay, well, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not paying any more for this service. You know, as good as the service that you provided, you got too greedy, and I'm done. Because if you don't make your voice known, if I make your voice known, not just going to Twitter and complaining, that's a good way, but actually say, okay, unsubscribe. And And I guarantee you, enough people unsubscribe and money start going out the door, some are going to think twice. Because that kind of money walking out the door costs people their jobs. And the person that came up with that idea, I guarantee they're going to go up to him like, okay, this didn't work. We're going to replace you, or we're going to make a fix here because we're going to give the customers what they want. So if you're someone on YouTube TV and you're tired of this price hike, it's time to make a change. Just to give them, and by them, YouTube TV, an understanding that we've had enough. And I'm tired of you raising the price. So on to my next quick topic real quick. And it's about the iPhone potentially being released without a charger. Now, I am not an iPhone user. I do have an iPad. I mainly choose Android. But if Apple decides to go that route, would I have a problem with that? Let's flip that, because it's easy to say one way or another. If I bought an Android phone and the Android manufacturer, let's take Google. Google decided to say, well, on top of not providing you any earbuds, which the last Pixel didn't have earbuds, they're going to not provide you a charger in a box or a cord. In other words, here's a phone, which they probably going to charge you the exact same amount of money they charged last year, and it's up to you to find a way to get yourself a charger. Now, getting a charger, let's be honest, it's not hard. We can go online, we can find an aftermarket charger for $5-10. Matter of fact, a lot of us have a bunch of chargers laying around from the old phone. But it's the principle. It's the principle that matters. I bought a phone from you, and you telling me you can't include a charger and a cord in the box? The simple thing that I need to use to charge up the device, you're going to make me come and spend extra money on top of that? Like an extra charge for the cord and the charger. Now, most of the time, when people buy a phone from these people, they end up going there anyway to get a case for those that buy cases and other accessories. But now you're going to make someone have to buy a charger just so they can charge up their phone and get going? Now, again, I understand most people, this is not going to be a problem, because we already have, if you already been a part of the iPhone ecosystem, you have a bunch of chargers laying around. As a matter of fact, it's to the point where you're literally throwing chargers away. You probably got a cord or a drawer full of cords and stuff from all these chargers. And that's probably for the same for a lot of us Android people. We have enough chargers around here to charge everything we need. So it's not like it's like, okay, we're out of luck. But to me, I think it's the principle. It's the principle that, okay, I've already paid $700-800 plus. And you look at some of these phones now, especially the iPhone, we're talking about over $1,000. And you telling me you can't at least put a charger in the box? I'm not cool with that. I think that's just highway robbery. And we got to see if that's actually the case. Because like I said, again, it could be a rumor. We have to see if this happens. Now, if it do happen, us Android fans need to start paying attention. Because normally, whatever Apple does, you normally see a lot of Android manufacturers try to do the exact same thing. And, before long, especially if you buy a Pixel and you know how we feel about these Pixels, already kind of skimping out on other things. If I buy a Pixel and there's not a charger in the box, we're going to have a talk with Google. If there's not a charger in the box for my Pixel, I don't care how many chargers I have in a drawer over there. First of all, for me, I end up selling my old devices anyway. And I include the charger and everything in the box because, again, someone bought it. I'm trying to give it to them the exact same way that I received it. So I will need a charger to replace that. Yeah, I think a manufacturer, especially like Apple, include the charger in the box. Let's hope this is just a rumor. Last topic, I want to talk about Attack on Titans 2 Final Battle. So I've been playing that on my Stadia. I've actually been playing that for the past couple weeks now. And this is my quick review. I actually like the game. First of all, I like the simple fact that I can set it on, as they call it, cupcake level, the easiest level. Because, man, if I couldn't set that on that, I'd probably be frustrated and would have thrown that controller down. Because, basically there are a couple of times where I'm struggling to get through the levels, and to have the, quote, cupcake level. And then even on cupcake level, if you still have a hard time getting to the boss, you can set it to another easy level where they give you infinite, ammo, which come in handy sometimes, to get through the whatever rounds you're getting through or whatever chapter you're going through. That made it easier. But as far as the game itself, I actually enjoyed just the overall gameplay. You do have an open world that you can play, which I haven't messed with. Right now I'm going through the story mode and just kind of just this whole game I enjoy. It's kind of cartoonish, which is cool. You can have an option where you can turn the blood on or turn it off and actually have the blood and go on. And basically, Attack on Titans, you're just running around here, you're killing what they call Titans, which are giant humanoids creatures. So you just go around, kill those, and that's the part of what's going on, or the story. Now, once you're done with, quote, or going through each round doing that. Now, there are some things or a few things that do bother me. And one thing is every now and then, I know that whenever I'm trying to, let's say I'm attacking a boss and I run out of ammo and I'm going to my base to re-up on ammo. Well, when I'm trying to swing away, because I'm locked onto that particular Titan, it's like your viewpoint is focused on there. And I'm fighting to get away from that viewpoint and focus on where I'm trying to get away from there, get some ammo. And sometimes I can get in the way, and it results in me getting, let's say if you're definitely in the middle of attacking the Titan and he's swinging at you and you're trying to get away because you ran out of ammo and your blades are pretty much gone and you're trying to get out of there and you can't, move because the camera is in the way, that becomes a problem, and that is a frustrating thing. Now, you are still able to swing away, and you have to sometimes use a map to swing away. That once you get out of there, you can, move the camera angle to correct that. But I find that sometimes to be a challenge. But other than that, overall, so far the gameplay, I want to say I ain't gonna say I'm halfway. I'm not even sure. I think I may be a quarter way through for last hour playing. So far, I'm liking the game, and I will have to do a follow up to let you know how I feel overall for the game. But yeah, I think I paid $60 for the game, and I had no problem with it, and I'm glad that I actually picked that game up. But that's all I have for today's show, and I'm curious your thoughts on, YouTube TV deciding to raise their price. Is it time for you to cut the stream and go somewhere else? And what are your thoughts on if you buy a phone and they refuse to bring a charger or put a charger in the box? Is that something that you're going to have a problem with, or you're like, hey, it's a charger. I can buy a charger for $5 off Amazon. No big deal. Let me know your comments below. I'm out.